Stars play hide and seek unbelievable. Caesar surprised the man with a hug, while Malfoy tried to shoot him with the stun baton. Caesar let him go instantly. Seeing the furious expression, everyone felt their courage bubble up, and after Malfoy left, Caesar revealed his secret weapon hidden in. Who'd think Stars could pull such tricks? In the silent night, he tied a branch to a bottle opener, making an intergalactic key. Then, he effortlessly opened the barricade cage with a flick, sneaked out, and came to the prison of Tiny Kong. Carefully unlocking the gate, he cautiously called him out to play, but Tiny Kong roared like a deflated battery, turning around to show Caesar his super strength. Yet Tiny Kong, seeing the open door, backed away in fear, as if asking, "Do I really want to go out?" Caesar helplessly peeked around, but then Tiny Kong suddenly charged out, causing Caesar to scamper up a tree, watching Tiny Kong joyfully roll around. Long-term imprisonment chained his body, yet couldn't curb his yearning for freedom. Tiny Kong felt free, like a kid in this little paradise. Tiny Kong unleashed years of pent-up energy and only stopped when exhausted, casting a puzzled look at Caesar. Caesar knew had successfully tamed. Caesar decided it was time for the next phase, to wake up the sleeping leader Rocket, lowering him to the exit by the fake mountain. Without hesitation, he lifted metal to welcome Rocket, as Tiny Kong appeared behind him, threatening. In the face of this sudden surround, Rocket surprisingly surrendered like a good little schoolboy, kneeling down in submission. Caesar finally completed his first plan, becoming the leader of the Stars, but before he could think of escaping, Will joyfully came to visit again. Will took advantage of some creative bribery to persuade the warden to let him take Caesar away. However, Caesar had lost his predecessor life, but when he saw the hopeful eyes of his fellow Stars and the bond in Will's hands, he changed his mind and decided to stay and continue his intergalactic dream. Caesar casually shut the cage door. No matter how close their relationship was, it couldn't bridge such a massive racial divide, the warden thought, rubbing fingers, as Malfoy smugly sneered at Will, boasting his superiority. Unbeknownst to him, this catalyzed a new intelligent species. Caesar tossed a cookie to Rocket, ordering him to distribute the rest among all the Stars, planning to strengthen his leadership with deliciousness and discipline. Caesar learned that unity is strength, thus, he planned to share the wisdom of snack diplomacy. However, cookies alone wouldn't cut it, the Stars needed an intellectual boost. It was time to light them up. Caesar knew how to make the Stars smart. All it took was for Will to convince the boss to reboot the brain-boosting experiments. The boss might be reluctant to take big risks for an Alzheimer's-only drug, but would for one that makes people smarter. The new genetic serum came with an easier application method and stronger effects, but it also meant bigger risks. However, when giving it to the Stars, everyone had to. But if someone's mask fell off during the process, well, that's on you. After all, you're all Stars now. Will, for the sake of research, brought some serums home, which conveniently lined up with Caesar's grand scheme. When the caretaker left, Caesar memorized the code, sneaking out again under the cover of night. Following the previously mapped tourist route, he climbed to the top floor, twisted the knob to open the dome, and flew out like Superman. City lights twinkled again. Caesar realized freedom was fleeting. Without hesitation, he leaped to his 8-year home. Will was still fast asleep, and after a quiet peek, Caesar raided the fridge, finding the IQ-boosting serum. The new serum had a different application method, yet Caesar, leveraging his powerful learning skills, quickly figured it out, bustling like a research. On the silent streets, he dashed toward the shelter like a flying monkey, conveniently locating the facility. He punctured the serum seal with a sharp object and tossed it into the corridor, with fog immediately spreading. The room was instantly shrouded in fog. Next morning, Caesar guarded the entrance, screening Stars for their IQ levels. Seeing the Stars with their bright eyes and human-like expressions, Caesar felt as satisfied as a kid on Christmas morning. He was ready for the next step, but the warden suddenly sensed something was off today. The Stars were suspiciously quiet. They huddled in a little circle, whispering occasionally. When noticed, they fell silent, as quiet as a library. That evening, Malfoy found Caesar still meditating, glaring at him icily as he heard his Stars back. Feeling his dignity trampled, Malfoy instantly called for backup, wielding his stun baton, channeling his inner hero. He was ready to give this pesky troublemaker a lesson. With his buddies backing him up silently, Malfoy charged at Caesar confidently. Caesar enjoyed the tingling, but Malfoy wouldn't stop. With the stun baton, he thought, bring it on. As the king of Earth, he wouldn't allow a star to challenge him, but tripped and fell instead. The cheering from the Stars left him feeling utterly embarrassed. Fueled by more rage, he tried to unleash his anger on Caesar, only to be caught off guard. Caesar slowly stood up, letting out the first no of the Stars' narrative. "Ah!" The voice echoed like thunder, plunging the surroundings into silence. Both humans and Stars stood frozen. Caesar suddenly snatched the stun baton from Malfoy. With one hit, Malfoy was knocked out. The silent fury swelled inside Caesar while Winston sparked like fireworks. Caesar's speech became increasingly fluent as he paced before the cage, angrily chanting no over and over. As if breaking a taboo, Caesar dragged Malfoy toward the holding area after releasing his passion. His comrades finally snapped back to reality and prepared to rescue him. Caesar stuffed Malfoy in an empty cage, jutted it forcefully, then raised the oppressive stun baton triumphantly and smashed it to the ground. Then, he opened all cages, freeing the trapped stars, even feuding Rocket. It was Liberation Day. They howled excitedly. Armed comrades arrived to find the wild party, causing them to flee. However, 2 stars swiftly caught them, pushing the ruthless humans off, venting their grievances.